Nonfiction authors, I think it's often a bit of a problem when you're just focusing on writing a nonfiction book and then just marketing and hoping for the best. So today I brought in nonfiction author, professional, expert, if you will, Julie Broad. So stay tuned to today's video. This is Self-Publishing with Dale, where you learn how to publish books that sell and build an unstoppable author brand. And today, folks, I have very special return guest, Julie Broad of Book Launchers. Now, Julie, you and I were just chatting about nonfiction books. That's your wheelhouse. This is your jam. And something I commonly see a lot of authors doing is they write the book, they put it out, and they hope for the best, that the book's going to do all the heavy lifting. What's some best practices when it comes to being a nonfiction author that they can kind of level up things, if you will?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is to just not write a book and do nothing before that. I mean, really, there's a whole bunch of heavy lifting that should happen before you even write that book. Like, what is your goal? Who is your audience? And what are you going to talk about that's a little different and focuses on the reader? Too many people write a nonfiction book and they're like, it's my story, it's about me. But this book might be about you, but it's not for you. It is for your reader. And, you know, one quick test, if you've written a book already and you're kind of going, I don't know if my book is for my reader. How many paragraphs start with I? How many chapters start with I?
Does everything live and die by just that book?
Oh, goodness, no. I mean, I think when you're a nonfiction author, the book is a tool. It isn't the thing. And a lot of people see authors and they think that the book is everything.
Yeah.
But the book is really something that opens doors and opens opportunities to media, to speaking, to even sometimes TV and movies and those kind of opportunities. The book is a tool. So you want to figure out, that's why I say, figure out your goal. Because what is this book going to do for you? And you know, I know some people who've sold less than 500 copies of their book, but it's led to selling their business for multi-million dollars. Right? That book was a huge success because it got somebody that didn't otherwise know about this business to find out about the business and then contact them, and then they sold the business. So what is your book intended to do?
What if I'm just brand new nonfiction author and I don't even have a business to sell? I'm not even thinking six figures. It seems really overwhelming. What's probably the best first step that I can kind of build for my book to get to larger items?
Yeah, good question. Platform. It's all about building a platform. You want to build an audience. And a really good example comes from my own life. I'm a real estate investor by background. When I decided to change my business and focus on helping people write, publish, and sell nonfiction books, the first thing I did was send an email to I think I had 12,000 newsletter subscribers to my real estate newsletter, and basically say, hey, I'm going to start helping people publish books. You know, anybody want to be a beta client? And that's how I got my first 10 clients for my company, Book Launchers. So don't underestimate the value in building a platform. It will help you today sell your product and service, but it will also help you in the future should you decide to do a pivot like I did. You may find that you have people there that just know, like, and trust you, and they go, hey, you know what? Like, we know you're going to do right by everything you say that you're going to do, so we'll follow you. And that's, you know, I was very fortunate to have 10 people say, you know, hey, I want to write a book and I trust that you'll help me right from the start. So platform building. And so the book is a great tool for that, kind of taking it back to that. Because you can give it away for free, but you can also, inside of the book, if you're really clear on what benefit you're going to offer the audience, you can give them something of value to go and download, and then they will sign up for your newsletter that way. Also connecting with you on social media, but I'm a big fan of building a newsletter list because you actually own it. You know, Facebook changes, everything social media changes. I mean, everybody here, we're talking TikTok right now. So, I mean, if you're banked on Instagram and now all of a sudden everybody's on TikTok or, you know, whatever it is, everything changes, and your access can get pulled from social media. But newsletter list you always own. So when I talk platform, I'm typically saying build a newsletter list.
I think that this is something that a lot of people get very overwhelmed right there, and I was hoping to get that out of you, was getting an email newsletter or an email list, which is an insider term. Some people feel overwhelmed. What are the best first steps to doing a good email newsletter?
Yeah, I mean, to keep it simple, to start with, just get a program like ConvertKit or Lead Pages or something. Set up a simple, they call it a squeeze page, but really it's just a picture of whatever you're offering, a slight, you know, benefit title and an opt-in spot. And then email them once a month. And if you're writing a book or you've written a book, you've got content to send them, because you can just pull a tip or pull a section out of your book, and then you've got that, and that can be your newsletter. And if you're working on a book, that's a great way to test the content that's going to go in your book, so you can put it in. It doesn't have to be perfectly edited.
Yeah.
And now you've got your newsletter content. The big thing is, don't get people's email and then never write them. So you have to, at a minimum, be contacting them once a month. I like to do it every 2 weeks myself, just so people don't go, oh, who's this? Right? And if you wait too long, that's what's going to happen.
I think the part that a lot of people get kind of hung up on, and I think if you agree with me, please let me know inside the comments on this one. What do I say to them? What do I do? Am I selling things to them? Because I don't want to be salesy.
If anybody checks out Book Launchers, which is our company, and gets our newsletter, we don't sell almost ever. It's like a one-line mention, like, hey, if you're interested in working with us, here's a link, and that is it. So you don't have to be salesy for this to be good. In fact, you want people to get to know you. So always think benefit. Like, what is a reader going to get out of reading this newsletter? But then think about, how are they going to get to know you? So mix a personal, kind of a little personal tip with a personal story, and now you've got something. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Seth Godin's tips sometimes are like this long, and people subscribe to him and get a newsletter from him every single day. So, it doesn't, keep it simple. And again, you can repurpose content that you've already created out there in the world. Nobody has seen everything you've created.
What if I'm brand new to things? How do I put out more content into my email newsletters? Let's say I just have a book. I don't have a blog. I don't have a website. I have barely any social media. Do I curate information?
You can do that. I mean, you could do exactly what we're doing right now.
Okay.
We're creating content together. So find people that are in your industry, or even not in your industry, but might have something of value to offer your audience, and interview them, get guest articles from them. You can do that. But when you're building your platform, though, you want to build that relationship with your audience, so you don't want it to be all other people's content. But if you've got a book, just pull a tip out of that. And by the way, that tip can be repurposed, or that story, or those 5 steps, or whatever you've put in your book can be repurposed over and over and over again. Create a video, do a podcast interview, do an article. Like, it doesn't have to just be an excerpt in your book or an excerpt from your book. It can become something you use over and over and over again in different formats.
So there's a good possibility that I could shoot out an email newsletter, let's say January, and then I can take that same email newsletter and repurpose it, say, in June.
Of course, yeah. I mean, some people might still be on your list, whether they remember they read it or not. What I would typically do is I would create a video, take that content, create a video from it. So I would email it out in article format in June or January, in your example, and then in June I'd give them a video. Exact same thing, but in video format now. That's how I would do it. Speaking of building your platform, we've got a whole playlist over on Book Launchers channel, so you can click that right here. And while you're here, and this is super fun, go ahead and smash Dale's face. I mean, gently, but that will subscribe to the Book Launchers channel, and we can talk about writing, publishing, selling nonfiction books together.